This next tune is a song that Ian and I wrote together about his grandpa, Peter. So there was this snowstorm one night in Chicago, and it was so bad. They called it the snow apocalypse. It was like 4 feet of snow, for real. It was like literally 4 feet of snow. And we had to walk. You had to walk to the store, and there were these little paths that you could kind of sneak around people to get to the store. And by the time we got to the store, because we lived in Humboldt Park, where it gets real. This is a real serious neighborhood.
Yeah, it's very real.
And we got to the store, and there was nothing left but Boone's Farms and Red Hot Funyuns. And so we had it. That's what we had for dinner. And the Boone's Farms hit us just right, because we felt like writing a song that night. This is a song that we wrote because we were drinking bum wine, so we kind of dedicate. Yeah, no. This is a song we wrote about Ian's grandpa, Peter. He used to give Ian all kinds of advice, and he told him, you don't ever buy a car you can't sleep in.
Yep.
And he told him all these great things, and I asked Ian about his granddad. I was like, man, what was up with that dude? He seemed kind of crazy. And he told me all these great stories, and we just had to write it. The stories were too good. They were too good. We just had to write it down. So this is called Granddad. My granddaddy said it was adopted. Nobody really knows. He said he was in a class of 5, and that's how his story goes. I guess it could have been anyone's son who don't remember his birth. My granddaddy was the baddest son of a bitch to ever walk this earth. You know, he said, don't you trust the government. Always carry your gun. Stand up for what you believe, whether you are right or wrong. But above all that, he said, you gotta get through thick and thin. He said, don't you ever buy a car you can't sleep in. My granddaddy didn't read the Bible, didn't think it had no worth. He believed Native Americans were right about the earth. He had a ring they gave him. It had 2 doves on a band. When they buried my grandpa, well, that ring was on his hand. He said, don't trust the government. Always carry your gun. Stand up for what you believe, whether you are right or wrong. But above all that is said, you gotta get through thick and thin. He said, don't you ever buy a car you can't sleep in. He had a 64 Pontiac wagon, plates IN 1993. Don't you know that was the year he died, and he left that wagon to me. I remember when we found him, late winter, cold, cold ground. Man, oh man, I'm wishing now that he was around. He said, don't trust the government.